I fear the scripted film and TV space has become a little bit barren. There are concepts, there are tropes, there are formats that seem to be sorely missing. In this video, I'm going to unpack what I believe has gone MIA. First of all, what happened to the girls with a passion for fashion? Bratz, rise up. Confessions of a Shopaholic, rise up. Carrie Bradshaw, where are you? Where are the modern day alternatives to these girls? Why are there not characters who talk about their love for clothes and fashion in fictional TV and film spaces? Now I know what you're thinking. The industry is corrupt. The environment is going to hell in a Chanel handbag, and there's exploitation all over the shop. But that's true of next to everything. So I ask again, where are the girls with a passion for fashion? It doesn't have to be a rose-tinted thing. We can be critical, we can be analytical, we can be sensitive and nuanced, but I beg of you, let's have some fun and talk about clothes in fictional film and TV spaces. It was just fun, girly times, and I miss it. There's nothing wrong with leaning into the ultra-feminine every once in a while for entertainment value. When did it become a crime to have a woman on a film or TV show cry about her Manolo Blahniks? Bring it back, I miss it, I want it. It would seem that no one thinks the news is important anymore, because the girls don't want to report on it. And again, I know, it's bleak out there, it's a little bit dystopian, it's not the coolest or funnest of times, but journalism as a backdrop and as a genre for characters, it was fun. Who remembers the latest Buzz? I was into it. I didn't care about what they were reporting on, but it was a vibe. We used to have Rory Gilmore, Andy from How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Where is our version of Andy from Devil Wears Prada? Where is Betty Suarez? Printed newspapers, I know, are a dying medium, but the online journalism space is rife for storytelling. Again, we could tell some fun, light-hearted stories about a girl who does online journalism, or we could have a more cynical, comedic take on the sheer nonsense that is online journalism, the sensationalist headlines, the clickbait, the rage baiting, or the journalism could just be an aesthetic thing that just builds out the character's life as a backdrop. I think journalism would be a fun career path for the children in film and TV to want to explore again. Surely there's a way to make it work. This has been an ongoing issue since the dawn of time. Why are the children not in college? Why are they not in university? Everyday messy high school experience. But the men of Rosewood would have caught fewer cases if those girls were in college. The children of Euphoria High would have been freer if they were in college. But for some reason, they waste our time showing them sometimes going home at silly hours of the day, as if that's how it works. Not a piece of homework done anywhere. Not a class taken in sight. Every once in a while, we need to let the children just go to college. High school has been done, and it can continue to be done. But every once in a while, let's pepper in some older kids. How about that? Look at Scream Queens Season 1. A fun watch, and it works perfectly well in college. I'm not sure what the real name for this genre is, but I love me some twee, quirky, bubblegum-coloured comedy dramas. I'm thinking Pushing Daisies, Ugly Betty, Desperate Housewives. Yes, people may die. Yes, there may be murder, but that will never let the tone of the show be brought down. The warmth and saturated colour will always reign supreme. I love shows like this. Somehow they manage to take the heaviest concepts in the world and make them still high stakes, but not depressing. Only Murder's in the Building, I think, fits very nicely in this genre, but I demand more. This next one might be controversial, because we were danced into the sun in the 2010s, but dance movies, I think it's time. I think it's time to bring them back. Yes, the Step Up franchise went on for far too long. God knows who was watching it. God knows who was financing it. But I love a good dance moment. I would regularly watch that final dance scene in Step Up 2 just for fun, because it was iconic. I want us to bring back the dance movie, and not just street dance films, but let's say Latin and ballroom. That would be very fun. Imagine a series or a film that's kind of campy, kind of like Strictly Come Dancing, or something more serious and brooding and intense. A ballet show, remember the ballet shows? There were so many programs about the girls doing ballet, and the intensity we could get from that, oof. It's time, I think, to revive the dance film. I think it is. While the children yearn for minds, the girlies yearn for a good rom-com, and I do not want anyone to say that Anyone But You is out. No, that mess doesn't count for anything. That was hardly a comedy, and it was hardly romantic. There was no chemistry to be studied there. Nothing happened worth watching. I can't believe the hoo-ha that was made about Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney off camera when that's what they were working on. That's the mess they gave us. No. Remember the proposal. Remember the glory days. We need to go back to them. I don't know how. I don't know how we conjure up the mid-budget rom-com again, but someone somewhere is literally praying to get their project off the ground to show the girls how it's done, and I'm praying with them. Can we bring back villainy? But can we bring back villainy? I miss the days of a good girl villain. Regina George, the OG. Alison De Laurentiis, the powerhouse that she was. Villain extraordinaire. I miss those days. I don't want apologies. I don't want redemption arcs. I want villainous girlies. Look at Logan Roy. He was holding down the fort. Look at his children, doing it proper. Bring back the villains, especially the girl villains. It's time. The word on the street is tweens have nothing to watch. They're going between Euphoria and online influencers, telling them to buy skincare that they don't need. What is Disney Channel doing? What is Nickelodeon doing? Why is there no meat for the children? Why are they parched? Why are they starved? Give them the goods. We know you're capable of it. Where are the writers? Bring them in. We need to revive the children's channels. Speaking of no good content, sitcoms? Where are the sitcoms? I loved New Girl back in the day. I love The Middle back in the day. I don't care about Modern Family anymore, but I ate it up at the time. These shows are loved and remembered for a reason. Can we please get the sitcom back? And I don't mean the multicam, not that. That was always a bit touch and go. But like the single cam, the ones with more dynamic angles. I don't know if things like Stathless Flats counts as a sitcom. If it does, fine. Love that show. I also loved Friday Night Dinner. But I just think it's been a few years since we had a good sitcom that everyone can get around. Does Abbott Elementary count? I don't know. If it does, okay, fine. But we need more. The Spies and the Grifters. I love them both. Technically different, but the vibe and the feel to me is the same. Who remembers Leverage? Hardison and Parker, my favourites. Who remembers Am I High? Who remembers Totally Spies? Of course, Charlie's Angels, Kim Possible. The list goes on. Spies and Grifters are fun. They do naughty, silly things in secret. I want to see it, you want to see it, we all want to see it. It's cool seeing the impossible take place. Yeah, there was Ocean's 8, which I think was fine, I didn't hate it. And of course, I loved Now You See Me. But I don't know, I think the space is thin. I think the space is very thin when it used to be very, very rich. So those are the films and TV shows that I think are missing. I would implore whoever is in charge of greenlighting things to listen to this video sincerely. Let me know in the comments if there are shows and films that fit these genres and tropes that I have missed out or I may have not come across. I would love to know more. And over on my Patreon, I've put together a few shows and films I think fit these genres and tropes that you may be interested in. And if so, you can find the link in my description. Are there any genres or tropes that you think I've missed from this list? If so, tell me what you're missing from the film and TV space. That's all I have for now. Thank you for watching. Until next time. Bye bye.